At the end of this video, you will know how to add a socket to your weapon, trigger a Niagara muzzle flash directly from C++, and fine-tune the effect until it looks and feels like a real shooter. We'll take the Niagara muzzle flash we created on the previous lesson, combine it with the shooting sound, and now we'll spawn that visible effect exactly when the shot is fired. This video is one piece of a full series where we build a third-person shooter called Mad Gameverse. All code is free and it is here to support your own journey into game development. Welcome to the Game Creator Accelerator channel. I am Tony Munoz. Like, subscribe, comment, share, and tap the bell. Each week you will get Unreal tutorials, practical strategies, a clear methodology, and inspiration to build your game dev transition career. Worry your responsibilities make it impossible. Visit Woolon.com to learn more about the Game Creator Accelerator Lifetime Mentorship. And let's book a one-on-one to see how it can help you. Link is in the description. Now let's start it. Let's first look for our character. Our character is in Characters, Main Character, Wraith, and this is our blueprint. In the blueprint, in the section of the details, looks for the mesh and click this button. This will present the skeletal mesh. We're going to select the one that is called the skeleton. So double click and open it. Another option is that you go to the skeletal mesh and on the right you can click on the skeleton. For this character we have a weapon that is predefined. So let's look for weapon, and you have an option that is the hand left that will connect the left hand with the weapon, and you have the right hand that connects the right hand with the weapon. Selecting the right hand, which is this position, the weapon R, which is the weapon in the place where it is connected with the right hand, right-click and select Add Socket. Let's rename this socket Barrel Socket. With F, I'm going to go closer to the barrel socket, and now we are going to reposition it, where I want to position it on the muzzle of the weapon. So let's move it here, and let's position as well a little bit more and almost at the center. Let's see. Yeah, this is pretty good. Don't worry that we can fix this in the future. Now save and go back to map. Now let's open our C++ project, the shooter character. In the header of shooter character, let's add a new U property to handle the Niagara system. So let's start with U property, edit, anywhere, blueprint, read, write, category, attack, meta, allow private, access equals true. Then the object ptr U Niagara system, and let's name it muzzle flash Niagara equals to null pointer. And because we're using the Niagara system here and I haven't declared it yet, let's use a forward declare on the top, class U Niagara system. I just realized that I think I also forgot to forward declare the USANQ. I don't know why it didn't give me an error at this point, but just in case, I'm going to add it as well. Save this one and let's open the implementation file. First, we're going to include two more libraries that are related, as you can imagine, with Niagara. One is Niagara function library and include Niagara component library. Let's save. And now let's go to the function that generates the shoot. This is the shoot button press. Currently, we just generate a sound. So let's add the muzzle flash. As just with the sound, we're going to confirm that we have muzzle flash. So if muzzle flash Niagara, or if not in this case, return. What it means is that I don't have a muzzle flash, so I am going to return. Next, we're going to recover the socket barrel. To do it, we create an if, and let's create a constant for u skeletal mesh socket, the reference barrel socket equals to get mesh, and from the mesh, we're going to look for the get socket by name, and we pass the text barrel socket. It is essential that this barrel socket, this description, it is exactly the barrel socket description that we set on the socket a moment ago. It has to be the same. Now, if we have the barrel socket, I want to look for the transform, all related to the position and rotation. Create another const, fTransform, name socket transform. It's pretty straightforward in terms of names. And I will take the barrel socket that we just get a moment ago, and we'll get the get socket transform, and we are passing the mesh. You can see that we are generating an error here. It says that pointer or reference to incomplete type u skeletal mesh socket. So what we need is to include a library to handle the skeletal mesh socket. And that library is include engine skeletal mesh socket.h. Let's see, that should have saved our error. And okay, here we have it. Now we have another thing, and it's because I named the function wrongly. So it is get socket transform. Here it is, and now no errors. At this point, we have the muzzle flash, and we have the location and the transform. What rest is to emit the Niagara system. For that, we'll start with u Niagara function library spawn system at location. And now let's pass the parameters. The first one is related to the world, and the world is pretty straightforward. Get world. Then what is that we're going to present there, which is the muzzle flash Niagara. Then is the location of our socket. We have the socket transform, and from the transform we get the location. And finally, we also need from the socket transform the rotator. And this is the end. Save. Let me go back a second to the header and check the muzzle flash. Fantastic. I'm going to change this U property for the shoot sound, and I'm going to make it part of the attack. And save. And now let's open Unreal. Compile. Back to the shooter character. Put it in viewport, and let's go for the attack section. And we have the muzzle flash here, the Niagara that we created. Let's go for our Niagara, which is inside the assets, Niagara system. This is the flash. And back to the blueprint, I will assign this Niagara system. Compile, save, map, and let's test. Here it is. Oh, look at that. It is shooting like to one side. So this is not exactly what I'm looking for. Let's go back to the Wraith skeleton. And what happens is that this has to be moved 90 degrees. We have to rotate this red, which is corresponding to the X, will be the front. So I'm going to rotate it 90 degrees. Select the barrel socket. And let's rotate it 90 degrees. Here. Save. Map. And let's see. Okay, that's much better. I think though that this is a little bit big. So we can make some adjustments for the Niagara system to look exactly as we want. Let's open the Niagara system. And the parameter I want to change is the lifetime for this burst. So let's go down, and here we have it, lifetime mode. It is random, which is, I think, is great, but is lasting too long. So let's move it something between 0.03 and let's say 0.08. Yeah, look at here. This is looking much, much better. Save. And let's test it. Perfect. This is looking much better, more in the direction that I want. It was not about the size, it was about the duration. But if you want to reduce the size as well, that's something that we can do. What I want to adjust though at this point is in the skeleton. I'm thinking probably that we are going to introduce a little bit more the barrel socket. Let's see how this is looking now. Yeah, not much difference. I can introduce it just a little bit. Look at the fact of how random it is. Not all the shoots are exactly the same. And this is what I'm looking for. I don't want them every time to look just the same. And this is an effect that you can create using the Niagara system, which it is fantastic. Now you have a proper muzzle flash. Your weapon has a socket and a barrel. C++ is spawning your Niagara system when you shoot, and the effect is tuned to feel like a real third-person shooter. Remember, this is just one step in a full Mad Game Burst series, where we build the entire project from zero. Check the playlist, leave your questions in the comments, and tell me what you want to learn next so I can bring it into future episodes. If you want support to transition to a game dev path without quitting your job, visit william.com and take a look at the Game Creator Accelerator Lifetime Mentorship. You can also reach out for a one-on-one call. All the links are in the description. Until next time, keep creating, keep sharing, and most importantly, keep dreaming big. I'll see you soon, my fellow creators.